Welcome to LettiSpeaks, where we turn pain into passion and find meaning through experience. Every day is a new day to find joy in the moment and live life abundantly. We speak and we listen and we don't take it lightly. Let's jump in and see what Spirit has to say. Welcome to LettiSpeaks. I hope everyone is well this evening as we delve in to a little discussion about our current time, the day that we're in right now. Thank you for stopping by. Let me first address those who may be new here. My name is Letty. Basically, I definitely read through my intuition in hopes of bringing something forth that would be healing, that would be helpful, that could possibly give some insight or direction. I do use cards, both oracle, tarot. I also use astrology. And then I also use other tools for certain types of healing modalities like chakra. As you will see, I have started a 7-episode chakra series where we're tapping into the basic understanding of what chakras are, and it serves to awaken the awareness around chakras in hopes of helping with, tools, simple practical tools that can help with self-empowerment. I'm someone who sometimes have a difficult time, accepting help. I was just made that way. Listen, that's how the cards dropped, and so sometimes it becomes necessary for me to find ways to empower myself. The greatest thing that ever happened was this era of self-help tools and self-help books, because it helps you to take accountability for your life. And I think more than ever, that's one of the things that we could stand to use a little bit more of. That's what we need right now in this day and time. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to help heal, and possibly give information, point to tools that has helped me through my process of healing and self-discovery. And so, we're all in this together. Nobody said that this thing was going to be easy, but we can, bounce off of each other and learn from each other. I find that that's been very helpful for me. And so if you're new here, I'm Letty. That's what I do. And welcome. Thank you for stopping by. It is a pleasure to be able to speak into your life. I don't take it lightly. If you are returning, thank you for stopping back by. That means a lot to me as well. If you're new, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, right? Definitely, especially with the series, the 7-episode series of the basic chakra meditation mantra that I'm doing. If that's something that interests you, definitely not only just subscribe, but hit the bell so that you would be notified whenever I post a new video, right? You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, definitely commenting. I love to hear, that what I'm saying is resonating. That definitely is very humbling, but definitely very encouraging as well. And so, thank you so much for those who have contributed in any way, listen, I appreciate all of it. All of it means the world to me, you know. And so there's no better reward than being able to use the gifts and the talents that you have, you know, to help. And so, with that being said, tonight we're actually jumping into just an open discussion and seeing what Spirit would have to say. I feel like tonight is again about the energy of definitely healing, definitely empowerment, self-awareness, and you know, taking accountability for life and what we've been given. And so I'll be using a few different oracle decks, looking into a little bit of chakra energy, and definitely looking into some different themes that may be in play in your life right now. But with that being said, let's jump in. Let's not delay the time any longer. As you all know that come back, you already know I'm a little lengthy. And so let's go ahead and jump in. I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak into your life. Thank you. With that being said, I'd like to start off with the oracle cards. I did pull just a few oracle cards from my Infinite Wisdom of Chakras oracle deck. And then also I pulled some cards from my Priestess of Light oracle deck. And so from the Infinite Wisdom of Chakras, the Sky Messenger came out. This card has come out quite a bit for me recently. And that's what that looks like, the Sky Messenger. And then from the Priestess Oracle, I got Brilliant Beliefs. This one has come out quite often as well. You know, I tend to believe that I have the same people, you know, coming by to check out my readings because I do have repeating energies that keep coming up. And because this is what Spirit is presenting, this is what it is, you know. And so until the energy changes, this is what Spirit is saying. And so with the Sky Messenger, which talks about freedom, and with the Brilliant Beliefs, which talks about personal power and luminous life force, I almost get the sense that this is really diving into the issues around taking accountability, like for your choices, for the decisions that has been made or that needs to be made. This talks about letting go of restrictions and setting yourself free. It talks about liberation and being able to act without feeling restricted in any way. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a restriction from outside of yourself. It doesn't mean that there's some type of force that's posing some type of obstacle for you. This could even be you know, posing an obstacle, you know, on yourself. It could be like the way that you're thinking. You know, I can't help but think, whatever I think of this type of energy, I'm thinking of like a horse is the picture that always comes to mind when I think of this type of energy. And it's a horse tied to like a simple little wooden chair, right? Imagine a horse tied to a wooden chair out in the middle of a dirt road, right? And because the horse has been, you know, there's this development around being tied up, you know, the horse has not yet experienced what it means to be free and to be liberated and to be able to, traverse the land unrestricted. It may have always been tied up. And so it's possible that all that horse knows is being connected to something that is restricting its ability to move with freedom or wherever it may want to move to. And so because that mindset, this is how we train animals, like we actually train ourselves that way as well. We train people that way as well. Because there is the training around always being tied to something, there is the imprint of that expectation in that horse's mind. Okay, because there is a, something tied to me and I'm attached to something, that means I can't go anywhere. I have to stay right here, not understanding, the fact that this horse actually possesses 100, maybe even 1,000 times the weight or the power, the horsepower of the resistance of this chair. Like this horse could literally drag this chair wherever it wants it to go without any problem at all. It's probably like the comparison of you lifting a feather, right? That's how insignificant that chair is. But because there is the mental training that has happened, the horse doesn't realize its own power and the fact that it is able to free itself if it chooses just to run away. It's just that simple. And so I always get that picture when I get this energy of being able to liberate ourselves and free ourselves. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like you're tied to someone or someone's holding you down. This could even be, again, something that is very much embedded, something that's been programmed, and that has erected some type of mental restrictions within the mind. I almost get that kind of energy with the sky messenger, which talks about freedom. Let go of restrictions and set yourself free. So there could be something that needs to be released, something that needs to be rethought or revisited and taken a look at it in a different way to understand maybe the purpose of it. Maybe there is something that is being given too much power, with the brilliant beliefs, luminous life force, and personal power. This is asking for the recognition of this power that is possessed within, and the power that it resides within all of the power centers that are housed within the human entity, within the human body. The heart is like one of the major power sources that we have, not to mention the head, around the crown, and the pineal gland, the third eye chakra, massive power. And so in this picture, she's actually being brought from, the galactic. Looks like she's in a state of a galactic transportation, arriving, in the grand scheme of things, and housed with everything that's needed and in the highest state of, her power, and I almost feel like this is an invitation to step into your power. It's almost like the same power that you can see resonating off of this priestess is that same power that you hold. And I say priestess, it doesn't mean that it is feminine in nature. It could be priest as well. Take it as it resonates. But this is the invitation to rise up and to understand, like, the heights and the depths that you have been created to step into, and understand that it was created for you to step into it, right? Not to watch other people soar in theirs, but it was also created for you to rise up to the height of your existence as well. Brilliant beliefs. And that tells me that there's something that could be being thought about. And I always get the feeling like it's too big. Like, nah, that couldn't be for me. But Spirit is saying, yeah, it is. The fact that you're even able to think about it and contemplate it means that it's possible for you, right? I don't believe that we're given ideas just to be able to, rub them in your face and it's never attainable. But we're given ideas because they are. If you're able to see it and visualize it, then that means that you can actually bring it into your existence. You can manifest it. But there's something that could be blocking, right? And even going back to the messenger, I always am attracted to the chakra that's lit up on her throat. The chakra. Like, I feel like this is something to do with, and then there's like the wind swiping against her lips as if to shut them, right? I feel like there's something that could be blocked. So for whoever this is for, you could have a blocked chakra. There could be things that you want to say, but for some reason, your mouth is muffled for some reason. Your mouth is muffled for some reason. And I'm hearing it has something to do with beliefs, right? It has something to do with the way that you believe, the way that you think, or the way that someone else believes about you or thinks. But there's something that wants to be spoken. There's a message possibly that you have been given to give, to say. But for some reason, it's not coming forth. So there is a blocked chakra with someone. So there could be a need to free yourself in that way. One of the things that you can do to help a blocked chakra is there's exercises that you can do. For the throat chakra, though, there is what I know to be like I love meditations. There's meditations that you can do to open up your chakras. And so if you are a meditator, there is a throat chakra meditation that you can do to open your blocked chakra and to help you to release whatever that is that could be blocking that energy center for you. And it's important to address that. It's really important to address that. And I always feel like when it comes to things that we have been given to do or things that want to be expressed, when those things are unexpressed, sometimes it can actually turn into something else because it has not been expressed. There's no free way for that to flow. It gets caught there and then it turns in to something else. It could be like aggression, anger, frustration. It could even manifest as like physical manifestations. And so for whoever this is for, it's important for you to release that, whatever it is, even if you say it to yourself, out to the universe, out to your creator, just release it, And if it's something that you need to say to someone else, until you're ready to do that, just release it, because it needs to be released so that that energy doesn't turn into something else, that's not going to be beneficial for your wellness. And if you are open to chakras, I do have a series that I'm doing right now. Even though I just started, it's a 7-series, a 7-episode series where we'll be working from our lower chakras all the way up to our crown chakra, working through awakening and reactivating those chakras and making sure that they're open and energy can flow through. So if you're interested in that, definitely tap in. We may not get to the throat chakra for a few weeks because I'm doing them a week at a time. And so that's definitely a resource for you if you're interested. Just hang in there for a few weeks if you're able. You're welcome to go and just Google a throat chakra meditation as well. But that's definitely something that could help as well. Also, if you have someone that is trustworthy, you can invest in counseling. Someone that you can talk to. That is really important. I'm feeling that really heavy, that there's something that needs to be released. And that's that idea about freeing yourself. Freeing yourself. Like there's this restriction I'm feeling that it's almost like you are possibly denying or renouncing yourself. And for instance, I'm going to give you an example. Say I have an itch, just a natural inclination to itch my arm, right? There's something that's tickling my arm and I'm just like, okay, it's not itching. It's not itching, and I'm fighting against my own need to resolve this feeling of needing to soothe my arm by scratching it, right? But I keep telling myself, no, I'm not going to do it. And there's no harm. There's a relief that's coming from me scratching my arm. But I'm telling myself in my mind that it's not itching. Therefore, I'm not going to scratch it, right? And so it's almost like that. Like there's something that needs to be released, but there's this holding back from it for some reason. And so let's see, what is this holding back? So I did pull some tarot cards on this, and the first card I got is the 3 of Cups, which tells me that this could be, there could be maybe whoever it is that is within your social circle, right? Could have something to do with whatever's happening here. But I feel like I'm getting the energy with this card like that. There's something that you're holding back. It's almost like you could be denying what it is that you know to be true, what it is that you feel in the pit of your belly, right, to be true. And it could be the fear of loss, the reason why you are turning away from this truth that you feel in the center of your being. It could be like the fear of loss. If you move in this direction, there's like this fear of losing something, or the fear of having someone to walk away. And so this could have something to do with like a social group, or it could have something to do, I don't really get that. It could be family, but I get more social group, like a social, um, like maybe friends. Um, Someone that you could possibly have ties with, you meet with often. Um, it's almost like the fear of having to walk away from someone and to move away. That's the energy I'm getting. And then I also pulled the Six of Cups. And so with the Six of Cups, this almost feels like maybe history of some kind and a level of comfort. So maybe this stepping out of your comfort zone or doing what it is that you are being, that you feel is like bubbling up in you. You know, maybe this is something that would pull you out of your comfort zone and cause you to this could possibly be something that would cause you to possibly have to step outside of everything that you know, which, as you know, can be very uncomfortable, right? Can be very uncomfortable. Take, for instance, someone who decides to up and just leave their home and move across the world somewhere. You don't know anybody. You don't have any connections, you possibly don't have a job yet, and you possibly don't have a car or a place to live. It's almost like being plucked out of the roots of what you're used to, this very comfortable place, and being made to kind of find a new way of doing things, find a new path, find a new strategy, or get creative with what it is that you have. It's having to really step outside of the comfort of what you know, right? That could also be, I'm getting the reason why the choice not to really come forward and speak or do or free yourself in the way that you feel like you are being called. Um, and with the Two of Wands, that means you've thought about it. You've given, as you look, he's holding the world in his hand, like he's in deep discussion with his intellect about this. He has the world in his hand. He's holding one of the wands. Wands represent inspiration, power, moving force, doing something, right? He's in deep discussion with himself. And so that tells me that you've thought about this very hard. You could definitely be thinking about this right now, knowing exactly what I'm talking about. Um, Whatever this is, right? It represents something that would be a nice new start, actually. Something that you can actually see as something refreshing, something that you could have even dreamt of doing one day, or having the opportunity to do. But right now, there's a juggle going on about this, about what it is that you're willing to possibly give up or sacrifice, or whether or not it's even really worth it, right? There's this mental discussion going on about this, I feel. And I almost feel this sense of bubbling up. Like it's almost to the point where it's like, wow, and there's this fight so hard to hold it back and not to say what it is or do what it is that you feel pressed to do, you know. And it almost feels like it would even be natural for you to do it. But because there is some level of mental discomfort in thinking or seeing yourself do that, for some reason it's not aligning with expectations, possibly, which is going back to that energy of needing to free yourself for something, from something, so that you would be liberated to do what it is that you're being given the opportunity, being called to do. I don't think it's easy. It's always hard, especially when it represents with that Six of Cups. I almost feel like it's something that will definitely pluck you out of everything that you know, or something that you know very well, and it's going to place you in an awkward place of having to possibly, stand in a new place. But whatever this is, there definitely is a need for you to release it, whatever it is. Say what it is that you need to say. Or if you need to go and just do it, especially if it feels right. Sometimes we get so stuck on not wanting to make a mistake that we forget to live. Like, living is equivalent to making mistakes. That's part of living, right? Without mistakes, no one would be wise. No one would be masters without mistakes. That's very much a part of the process. And it's very much part of getting to where it is that you are purposed to be. And so if it is being afraid of making a mistake or being seen in a certain way, following your gut intuition is more important. Yeah, it's more important than how it looks. And so and there could definitely be things that, you're missing out on because you don't really want to step out and, at least try, The Ace of Wands is a high level of contentment and passion. This is something that floats your boat, Yeah, but the decision is definitely yours. Mm-hmm. And so that was the first energy that came out. The Sky Messenger, talking about freedom and brilliant beliefs, talking about personal power and luminous life force. It's almost like there is this power within you, right? That wants to surge and it wants to accomplish what it's been sent to do. But there needs to be the opening up. There can't be any resistance with this power that's surging, that wants to surge through you to fulfill what it's been sent to do. And so there's the need to release and open up so that that can happen. That's the first energy that came out. We have Sacred Grove and Go with the Flow. So I almost get the energy of someone who's definitely just in their head. And I was talking a little bit about the perfectionism a little bit and not feeling like you have to be perfect or make every right decision. Like, life was created to experience. And part of that experience is learning from our mistakes. And so there is no life if every time you turn the corner, it's like, oh, I can't do that. You're afraid to do something because you're afraid to make a mistake, right? And that's just for someone who could be like this overthinker, or it could be perfectionism. It could be, you know, could be fear as well. It could be doubt, it could be imposter syndrome, whatever it is, it's letting go. And especially with Sacred Grove, we're talking about guidance and go with the flow, letting go, cleansing, and receiving. And so here, Spirit is giving the opportunity, because I feel like everything that's needed is on the other side of feeling like there needs to be a level of control that we have to always have, And for me, it really is, understanding. I've come to understand that, and I'm a type of person, I used to be, someone who tried to be in control a lot, especially growing up and not having a lot of control with how I grew up and some of the things that I experienced growing up. And when I got to the place where I was able to have a level of, say so over how things go, it's almost like I almost took it to the extreme. And I was a little bit of a controller. Even with my kids, it was learning that the control that you think you have, you really don't, whether it's the kids, whether it's with life, like everything has already been sorted out, and so Spirit is inviting you to the other side of this situation where you release it. There is a place, the Sacred Grove represents that place where you can take a moment and go inside and receive guidance. In that moment, that looks like stopping to put the phone down, turn the TV off. Even if it's pulling over on the side of the road, it's taking a moment to stop everything and just be still. And going into this most powerful place within your crown chakra, within your mind, where anything is possible. Not only is anything possible, but you have divine guidance, right? All of the answers to your problems, all of the answers to your struggles, all of the solutions, right, to the questions that you have is there waiting for you to create this space to commune and receive what's there for you. And so there's like the invitation for you to actually create this space to go into these powerful places to receive the guidance that you're needing. And that may seem simple when I say stop and get still. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? Just sit here? That's not what I mean. But when I say get still, that means find a space where you can not only talk to yourself and hear what it is that you're needing in that moment so that you can give it to yourself, but also hearing what your higher power could be saying to you. Sometimes we can be so busy working it out or calling ourselves it out or keeping things together that we don't realize that if we would have just stopped to take a moment to ask for guidance, to ask for help, like it could have been so much simpler and it could have been done way sooner. And we could have saved lots of energy, lots of stress, right? We could have saved lots of our personal resources, right? If we would have just realized, listen, this is out of my control anyway, right? Let me just see what it's going to do, right? Let me just trust myself this time. And I'm going to go down this road and just trust what I'm hearing. Not what I know necessarily, but I'm going to trust what I'm hearing. I'm going to trust my inner intellect, and just kind of go with the flow and see how this thing works. Because for someone, Spirit is calling you to that place where you are able to release control, where you're able to actually turn over whatever it is that you're trying to work out or understand or keep holding it together, where you're able to just hand that over. And then go with the flow actually is, I'm noticing this waterfall in the back. And so I am getting the energy of water here. And water is a very interesting element. When you think of water, you think of something that's harmless. But actually, water can serve many different purposes. Like water has the ability through persistency to actually erode a rock away, even though it's the softest thing you can think of. Because of the consistency of running water, sooner or later it's going to start to wear away at the rock. And so there's like a level of clearing that the purpose of water serves. Also cleansing, right? Water is known to be a cleansing element as well, right? It's also known to be something that we need to stay hydrated. So there's a level of receiving with water as well. And so with this, go with the flow, right? Allowing yourself to not feel like you have to dictate how things should go or what they look like right now. Releasing the idea of form or having things to happen or unfold a certain way. It's just throwing up your hands and releasing it to the divine, to your higher source, and trusting, right? Yeah. Water also is bringing up the energy of this very ebb and flow kind of motion, being waved back and forth, and it's allowing it. It's allowing. That was my word for last week, allowing. I have a friend and we kind of exchange higher thought in conversations, around philosophy and trying to understand, different things that we're going through. And I always enjoy talking with her. Our word last week was allowing, and I'm getting that for this card, going with the flow and allowing, right? Even in those times where things are being eroded away by the water, right? It's very uncomfortable, but it's allowing it to happen. Understanding that again, no, we're not in control, but there is control happening, right? And something tells me that if and when we're able to release the idea of form or having to have things show up a certain way, we realize when it's all said and done that there was a better plan all along. We just had to release our way, is what I'm hearing. Letting go. There could be a cleansing that's happening through this process, or there could be a cleansing that needs to happen when you allow yourself to step into this process. There also could be a receiving that'll happen on the other side of this process. You know, once the cleansing takes place, now there's room that's been made for something new to come in. But we have to release something, right? Before something new can come in. But let's see. I'm just going to get some tarot cards. Let's see. And again, I feel like this is very mind heavy. Like this is a lot of thought patterns that I'm seeing here. A lot of overthinking and weightiness in the mind. You know, trying to control how things are going to turn out. And there could be a lot of, dare I use the word, manipulation happening. Not that manipulation always has to be bad. Sometimes manipulation is good. You know, we manipulate metal all the time, you know, in order to meet what it is that we need for it to do. It's all to do with the intent. But I feel like here there's just a lot of, so far, I feel a lot of mental energy, like really trying to have things show up or have things result in a certain way, right? And if it does not, that may feel very much like it would attempt to steal your joy, you know? But I feel Spirit is saying, well, you know, release your thought of what it should look like. Because again, there could be actually something that may even serve you even better if you're able to release it, you know? Yeah, I'm getting that. There definitely could be like something in the process right here, like an alchemizing of something. And sometimes we can be so attached, you know, to situations, to our way of thinking. Maybe we don't know anything different, and that's okay too. It's all a part of the process. Maybe, you know, we can't see anything different. And I feel like that's what Spirit is saying here. It's like, you can't see it, but take the moment to go within. Take the moment to receive guidance. Take the moment to ask. Take the moment to allow yourself to be open, to try something, to see something different. You know, you want a different result, you have to try something different. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results, is what I'm hearing Spirit say. And so, let's see. So the tarot cards that I pulled, the first one was the Temperance. And that's where I get that energy of alchemizing. I almost feel like there's something, like Spirit is taking something that you have and is wanting to allow it to be increased in value, right? Taking it and through the process, and this could even be you, right? This could even be you, like through this process that you will be going through or that you are being called to, it's going to increase a level of value in some type of way through this process. Yeah. It's going to offer a great level of healing, more stability than you could be, experiencing right now. And things are going to look very different when you come out on the other side of this, if you allow this to take place. I see it like a newness with you coming out of this. And I hope I'm not making this sound scary. When I say this, I mean this process, this submitting yourself in that way and allowing yourself to be guided. And I'm hearing trick, like Spirit wants you to know this is not a trick. If that's what you're thinking, this is not a trick. Like, this is real. Spirit has good thoughts concerning you. If you're thinking otherwise, Spirit has good thoughts concerning you and wants to support you through this. And then I have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups usually represents this very content energy around, family life. The Ace of Swords and the Strength. This could represent like a new understanding or an awakening that's needed or that you may realize, is imminent, when it comes to moving forward. This could be with relationships. This could be with your overall family. There could be some changes that may need to come in. And these changes could be, it could have something to do with mindset. It could have something to do with like having to really release things so that you can move forward with a fresh new perspective. And it could have something to do with really understanding the value of what it is that you have. or it could be you understanding the value that you are too. Not what you're able to bring to the table, but the value that you, all by yourself, represent, right? All by yourself. And there's nothing wrong with like being, I know for men, sometimes it can be really difficult not being the breadwinner. And there's things that women find difficult too. But, Spirit is really, I feel like, honing in on understanding the intrinsic value that you are, despite what you're able to bring to the table. This is just the fact that you alone are valuable. What you represent is more valuable than anything that you can give, is what I hear Spirit saying. It's more valuable. Nothing compares. No amount of money, right? No material possessions. What you bring, this right here, is more valuable than any material possession. Then you can accumulate. That you can accumulate. And I feel like someone could need to hear that. I do feel a little bit of an emphasis on money here. And I too have had some awakenings around money. One of the things that I have changed, because I've struggled with the money mindset, but I've changed it from looking at money as money. And now I see it as a resource instead of money. For me, money connotates this thing that, when I think of the word money, it almost represents this thing that there's never enough of. But when I think of resource, it kind of changes that around for me and gives it a whole new meaning. When I think of resource, I think of, okay, this is something that I have that's able to help me to operate, in life effectively with things that I may need, instead of thinking of money, because so many times money is associated with things like power or I don't know, name brands, just it gets to be a lot. And next thing you're way over here on the left side and you've totally forgotten about why you've been given, the money. And it's so easy to do, but I feel like that's something that Spirit is bringing out here, is coming back to the right perspective around money as it pertains to the family. This is going to be hard work, I feel like, with strength here and the Ace of Swords. It's coming up with new ways to understand and perceive these things that could have caused, issues in your life. I also have the world. And the world card talks about lessons that have afforded you the wisdom that you operate in right now. This is taking those lessons and utilizing them to live skillfully. Now that you've learned the lessons, right? And the world also represents travel. So there could be some travel happening, or that's going to happen. The world card also represents starting a new journey. Starting a new journey. Eight could be significant. So I feel like there could be definitely something new that you are about to be starting. And or you will be starting. If you allow yourself to be guided, you'll be starting something new. You will be guided to something new. And whatever this is, definitely hard work, but with the wisdom that you have, you are going to be able to skillfully and gracefully navigate through this with your level of wisdom. After you come out of this. Yeah. And one way or another, you'll be moving to a higher level, either of living, a higher level of operation, functioning. It's almost like there's going to be this recognition that you're worth more, and you're going to go for it, and you're going to get it. We're not settling for less in 2024. Get somebody else to do it. Y'all remember that when they used to say that? That was like 2 years ago, but I tend to remember stuff like that. So anyway, the last energy is dawn. And so we're switching it up for this heavy thinking, being stuck in our head, and we're moving down to our sacral chakra. I actually did a sacral chakra meditation mantra today, and so go check it out, especially being that this is part of your reading. That's going to be one of the available resources to you if you choose to seek the next level of, options to kind of dig into this energy of wanting to go inside and receive the guidance. That's one of the options you have. So go check out that download. It's probably the video right before this one, but it's the sacral chakra meditation mantra. But this card is called Dawn, and it's around sexuality. We're talking about the sacral chakra, which is actually the second chakra, right? First is the root, which is red, and then we have the sacral chakra, which is this fiery orange color, where our passions lie, our emotions, and how we feel lies here. Our sexuality lies here as well. And so this is your masculine and feminine. This could be concerning a relationship, but I also feel like it's more dealing with the individual that this is resonating with. In case you didn't know, we all have masculine and feminine energies that reside within us that are needed, right? That's part of the balance that we've been given in life. And unless we are able to identify with all parts of ourselves, we can never really express at the highest degree what it is that we've come here to do, right? And so, yes, we all have masculine and feminine energy, and they are both very much a part of us, right? And there is the need to allow both of those to be active when necessary. And for this energy, for whoever this is resonating with, both your masculine and your feminine, whether this is an actual relationship or whether this is you needing this confirmation within yourself to allow yourself to really heal both of those energies, the masculine and the feminine. Spirit is saying they both need healing right now. And that's what's happening through this process. Both the masculine and the feminine energies are being healed through what is happening right now. Through the cleansing of the water. Through changing those ideas that, has been prevalent in our thinking for so long, right? The masculine and the feminine is being healed. And so if there is struggle around allowing yourself, and it's no accident that this card is called sexuality, because again, when we talk about our sacral chakra, we're talking about our ability, we're talking about how we've learned to not only allow ourselves to express, but allow others the freedom to express as well. And sometimes because of trauma, we don't know how to express and we shut up our emotions and we refuse to allow ourselves to experience certain things that are actually pretty natural. And because of that, it causes blocks and friction in certain areas of our lives. One could be an internal conflict, within yourself. One could be a conflict, with your relationships. But this card is definitely talking about you allowing yourself to express your emotions. Not only express your emotions, but allowing yourself to feel what it is that you're feeling in any moment in time, allowing yourself to even experience pleasure, I think because of certain traumas that we've gone through, we possibly never learned how to allow ourselves to express enjoyment around certain things. And this could possibly point to something that happened that caused some trauma that stifled that part of you. I won't go into detail, but I hear what Spirit is saying, but that is it's being healed right now. And there is the opportunity to offer that up, to be healed, so that you can begin to feel again, so that you can begin to connect to the sensual side of yourself. For whoever this is for, I feel like there has been a stifling in some type of way, shape, or form of the natural connection, the natural intimacy. It has been stifled for some reason, but Spirit is saying that is being healed right now through this process, healing is being offered to you. We'll never be, held responsible for what has been done, but we are, we're held responsible for healing it. I'll say that, if that's understandable. We can't help what's been done, but we can help getting the guidance and the direction to heal it, right? And it could very well have been something that has been operating silently, like you may not even know anything different. But I feel like Spirit is showing you little ways right now that's showing you that, yeah, this needs to be dealt with. This right here, that's not normal. And so let's deal with that. Let's heal that. Let's find out and address that. So that you can begin to receive the love that you're so worthy of. So that you can actually experience the level of joy and the level of pleasure in life that was intended. And experience it without shame. Experience it without pain. Experience it without guilt, right? I don't know why Spirit is saying that, but the masculine and the feminine is being healed. And if it's not you, it could be in relation to maybe someone that you're dealing with, right? The opportunity for healing is here. Yeah. And there could have been a time where there were like a denial of feelings, or you even repressed your desire to want to feel certain things or experience certain things. And there was like a shutdown when it came to the sensual or the sexual side of yourself. And so in this time, you are being invited to awaken that part of yourself again. It's okay. It's okay. The time has come. Reclaim back your femininity. Reclaim back your masculinity, right? And understanding the sensitive balance, right? Sometimes as women, it's easy too for us to emasculate our men. Again, going back to certain things that make us feel less than, and for men, it's like, okay, well, how do I survive, making less, or not being able to even get a job sometimes? How do I survive that? But it's also being sensitive as the feminine to the masculine circumstance and being able to handle that with grace. And those little things right there, like sometimes we can emasculate the men and take their masculinity without even realizing it, And so Spirit is bringing a sense of humility to the situation, I feel like. So that there's like the equal playing field so that you can see eye to eye. I don't know why that's coming out. I don't know what that means. But there is a need to see from the other person's perspective. There's a need for the other person to see from your perspective. And that's what's happening. But through all of this, there's a healing that's happening, both in you and in the other person, both in your masculine and your feminine, if it's just you, you know? And so there is a need to relearn, you know? There could be things that were taught that were not necessarily healthy, you know? I hear that as well. Environment and conditioning can sometimes lead us down the wrong road. And so these things are coming up so that they can be addressed. Yeah. There's a lot about this situation, about you, that's actually changing. We have wings of light, becoming something new. And if you look at this card, it's almost like you see her, and this is happening really fast. You may not even realize, you may wake up one day and not even recognize yourself. I'm hearing that. That's how fast things are changing, or the potential for things to change. Once you step into that submission of being guided, that's how fast things are able to change and shift from whatever they could look like right now. Yeah. Sorry if I'm chewing my gum loud. And so, let's see. So I almost feel like could be something that you could possibly have dealt with for quite a while. Yeah, this could go back to childhood now that I'm looking at it. And it's almost like the energy of waiting for someone to come and fix it. And you've possibly had to kind of deal with it. I almost feel like it's like an infirmity of some kind, and you've had to deal with it. You had to be creative around this and kind of making up, for what was lacking. And just kind of waiting for someone to come. And I'm hearing give, waiting for someone to come and give. Someone's been waiting for someone to come and give. But while you've been waiting, you've been very, very creative in how you've dealt with the situation. And I do feel like there has been lots of growth around this, though. It's not like you've been overcome by this. Like you have done lots of healing, lots of work around this. And it's been difficult. But you've done lots of work around this. And I do feel like Spirit is Spirit is definitely wanting you to be happy, wanting you to realize this new beginning, wanting you to realize this new way of being, this new existence almost. And Spirit is saying, like, whatever makes you happy, like, go for that. Do that. Be that. Whatever you feel like can make you happy, go for it. Go for your truth. Three could be significant. I feel like 3 talks about, 3 talks about this creative energy. And I think 3 is, what is 3? Is it the healer? And I'm hearing for some of us that are actually have the opportunity to have these challenging experiences. Sometimes the reason for the experience is that after coming out yourself, then you will be empowered to turn around and bring others through. I'm hearing Spirit say. Others will see the strength you utilize to come through and will want your help. Whatever this is, you'll be definitely very almost placed on a pedestal for this. And people will come seeking your advice, and they will look up to you in that way, and you'll have the opportunity to direct others because of what you're going through here. And I always find it interesting because it's like, well, dang, did I have to really go through all of that to actually be able to help people? And Spirit is saying yes. Yes. Because there's a level of empathy that you can only truly embody through suffering, if that makes sense. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what it means. So when it's all said and done, you are the prize. You are your reward. Yeah. Yeah. And um, I see like a closeness. I don't know if this is parent and child, but there's like a relationship here, and it's going to be a very tight relationship. It feels like a parent and a child relationship. Um, yeah, this is beautiful. I always know I'm hitting it on the nose because my nose starts to itch and bother me. And so, let's see. Any other advice? Yeah. And so I'm getting to that, sometimes it's things that we don't even connect to the issues that we're dealing with, especially with that sacral chakra that was thrown in there. There could be some things that are totally, you haven't even connected with what's happening, but it is connected. I'm hearing that. It's connected. Because it has everything to do with how you are connecting, how you are connecting with yourself, how you are allowing yourself to express and feel. And in the beginning, I got that with the voice, allowing yourself to express. And a step further now, allowing others to express without judging them, without judgment, which is so valuable. It's hard, especially as a parent, allowing your kids to openly express what they need to say and not always having a response. Just allow them to express what they need and just be like, okay, thank you for letting me know how you feel. I appreciate you being open with me. And many times they'll go and they'll chew on it and they'll get a little bit of clarity on it and they'll come back and be like, well, what I meant was, and you're like, okay, it works out beautifully. But at the time when they say it, it's like, oh, ooh. But, anything else, Spirit? These are the things of life, It's bittersweet, but it's beautiful. It's bittersweet, but it's beautiful. I wouldn't want it any other way. Any other advice, Spirit? For some reason now, Spirit all of a sudden is talking about money. And the advice. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. 4 could be significant. So I almost feel like this is talking about, again, we did talk a little bit about money and the ideas around money. So Spirit is giving the advice around, I really feel like it's around understanding long term. Spirit is saying think long term, think bigger when it comes to not only just investments, but I feel like it's more to do with legacy, right? Spirit wants you to think more about in terms of legacy is what I'm hearing. And this could be something that's like a hot topic right now. It's like thinking in terms of the future, like how it is that you want to really move forward at this point in terms of the future. You may find yourself not really wanting to do anything right now as it pertains to planning. The Spirit is definitely telling you to plan. Plan for the future is what Spirit is saying. It's time to plan for the future. Ooh. I don't know what that means. It's time to plan for the future. So take that how it resonates. And I'm seeing just like almost like a family around a tree. And it's almost giving me like heritage vibes, family tree vibes. The Spirit may be wanting you to think in terms of what it is that you want to create, what it is that you visualize moving forward. Do you have a vision past your life is what I'm hearing? Is there a vision? And are you willing to pass that forward? Are you willing to share that? And if you don't, are you willing to create one? What is your truth around that? I don't know why that came out. That was like in left field. But Spirit is saying something about planning for the future. And something about legacy. And so that was the reading for tonight. I think we made about an hour and a half, which is not too bad. And so I definitely hope this message was helpful. I'm always excited to come and speak with you all and see what Spirit is saying and see how we can possibly find resolutions for life, find answers for our issues today, right? And so I hope there was something that was shared or said that gave you some sense of resolve or clarity in some kind of way. And so with that being said, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, share, comment. If you're new and you're just stopping by, welcome. Please do subscribe. And if you're liking the content, and hit the bell so that you can be notified when new videos pop up. If you definitely are someone who is interested in doing some work around the chakras, possibly releasing blocks, that could be affecting how you are experiencing life. I am doing a series with 7 episodes, awakening and awakening awareness around the chakra system. And so you are more than welcome to tune in. Other than that, if you're looking for a personal reading, these readings are generally for a collective, right? And so they may not be personal. Sometimes they are very personal when Spirit taps in to a specific energy. Sometimes they're very general, hit and miss. But if you are looking for a personal reading, you can definitely schedule. I always put my link down in the description box. If you're just looking to do support, that would be wonderful too. All forms of love is appreciated. There's a couple of ways that you can support down there as well. Yeah. And so here is to a beautiful week coming up. Today is the end of the week or the beginning of the week, however you view that. And so, yeah, I hope this kind of sets a beautiful precedence for you to go into next week mindful of, how you can surrender, parts of yourself and allow the divine, allow Spirit to actually show you better ways, And so with that being said, I don't know why I feel something crawling. With that being said, thank you so much again for stopping by. Until next time, I look forward to speaking with you. All right. And if no one told you today that you are beautiful, you are amazing, you're handsome, full of vigor in life and creativity, right? No one told you that today, I'm telling you. And so I appreciate the divine being that you are. And thank you for being here with us. Until next time, take care of yourself, okay? Bye.